get together a little bit. Start in the middle, please. Out to the middle. Out there.
Please, one step forward. One step forward. Thank you so much.
Straight ahead.
All together in the middle, please. Tous ensemble au milieu.
Par ici, s'il vous plaît, en bas.
Juste ici au milieu.
Dans la gauche, un peu. Rémi, s'il vous plaît. Voilà, par ici, en bas.
Tous ici ensemble au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Par ici.
En bas, ici,
à droite.
Now just yellow in the cast, please.
Un pas en avant, s'il vous plaît. Un pas en avant.
Could you come a little bit forward?
Alors, voilà.
Please straight in the middle right here, please.
Tous ensemble
Right
ici.
middle.
Voilà, par ici, en bas. Voilà, par ici. Ici, de l'autre côté.
Ici au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Bérénice.
Straight to the middle here.
Voilà, par ici, par ici. Rédacteur, voilà.
And now just the cast.
Thank you. Could you just straight in the middle, please?
Yeah, voilà, par ici, s'il vous plaît.
Ici, right here in the middle, please. Down here in the middle.
All together straight ahead.
Légèrement,
Right in the middle here.
Tout le monde par ici, s'il vous plaît. Voilà, tout le monde par ici. Voilà, à droite.
Et tous ensemble ici au milieu, in the middle, please.
Par ici, s'il vous plaît.
Guys, right down here in the middle, please. Everybody right here in the middle, please, right here.
And now just Olivia, please.
Par ici, this way.
Olivia, straight up. Olivia, straight up.
On va ici.
Olivia, this way.
Olivia, on va.
Olivia, straight in the middle, right here. Olivia, right here.
Back to me in the middle, please.
Olivia, s'il vous plaît. Olivia, on va. Olivia.
Olivia, can you drop in the middle, please? Up in the middle, please.
Olivia, on va.
Olivia, one foot in the middle, please.
And we straight ahead.
One step forward, please.
Par ici, s'il vous plaît.
In the middle, please.
This way. Par ici, on va.
Straight to the center,
Et
please.
ici au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Straight to the left, please. Right here, down here.
Une ici.
Straight to the center, down here, please.
And that's up in the middle,
One step forward.
Okay.
Now down to the left side.
This way.
Down, first row. Down, first row.
Again, left side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good voice. Good voice.
One step forward, please.
Bérénice, par ici.
Bérénice,
Head down here, please.
regardez-moi au milieu.
Bérénice, par ici.
Bérénice, par ici, s'il vous plaît.
Bérénice, s'il vous plaît, au milieu.
Bérénice, par ici, s'il vous plaît. Bérénice.
Et encore ici au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Bérénice, right here. Bernice, in the middle here. Straight.
Bérénice, s'il vous plaît, par ici. Bérénice.
To the center, please.
Bérénice, on va ici.
Bernice, left side, please.
Et encore une ici en haut au milieu.
Bérénice, s'il vous plaît. Bérénice. Bérénice, un peu plus bas. Ici, voilà. Ici.
Juste à côté, Bérénice, juste dernière fois au milieu, s'il vous plaît.
Berenice, to the center, please.
Bérénice, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Berenice.
Gaël, por aquí abajo. Ambos, Gaël. Así, Gaël, por aquí. Perfecto.
Gaël, straight ahead, please.
Gaël, una más por aquí. Gaël.
Okay, this way.
Gaël, una por aquí. Gaël, una por aquí.
Gaël, juste après le numéro 10.
Yeah, right in the center, right here, right here.
Looking at this way.
Gaël,
Gaël, por aquí.
Guys, this way.
Yeah, left side, yeah, left side.
This way.
Gaël, por favor.
Gaël, una por aquí. Gaël. Por aquí.
Here we are.
Sí, por aquí.
This way. This place.
Left side, please. Yeah.
Sit to sit on here. Perfect.
And one more to stand, please. Just
Coming to Berlinale competition from Italy is Piero Messina's film Another End. He was Paolo Sorrentino's assistant and became very well known himself with the 2015 film The Wait with Juliette Binoche. His Berlinale film boasts a Mexican superstar, Gael Garcia Bernal. He plays a man in mourning in this insightful science fiction film. He has lost the great love of his life, but there is a program called Another End. It is supposed to alleviate the pain and brings back the consciousness of the dead, but in a stranger's body. A movie about technological feasibility, about bodily sensations, about loss and farewell. Basically, it is the myth of Orpheus, this ancient wish for the return of the dead.
Porque te trataba pésimo. Te hacía llorar todo el tiempo. Estaba muy chiquita, además.
Tenía 14 años. Mis amigas ya estaban cogiendo.
Sí, ya estaban cogiendo, sí.
¡Ay, qué cerdo! ¡No me digas eso!
Ay, no, ¿qué hace? No.
Dale.
Ay, Dios. Ya.
Por fin una sonrisa. Tenía que perpetuarla. No pierdas el tiempo. Aprovecha estos momentos para estar bien con ella. Para prepararte a decirle adiós.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you also for the pictures. And welcome to the press conference for the world premiering competition of Another End. And I'm glad to introduce our guests, starting from the far end of the table on your left. Giacomo Bendotti, screenwriter of the film. Welcome. And then starring in the film, our former jury member in 2020, Bérénice Bejo. Welcome, Bérénice. He was in Berlin in 2018 in competition with Museo by Alonso Ruiz Palacios, who, by the way, is also back in Berlin in competition with La Cocina, Gael Garcia Bernal. Wow, now for the Italians in the room, please cheer for Piero Messina. That was tight. Good job. She's back for the second day with the second filming competition, Renate Reinsve. And also back in competition after 2009 when she was starring in Ghostwriter by Roman Polanski, Olivia Williams. Welcome back. So please, the floor is yours. Let's start over there, please.
This is Mark Karapetian, publisher and editor of the film magazine Spirit, A Smile in the Storm since his 16th living year. Really an amazing science fiction film, very touching. And a question to the director. In the another end of another end, in the end sequence, the second end sequence, what is it for you? Is it a dystopian end or utopian end? Because I feel also some comfort in the scene. Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry, which scene you mean?
Your ending.
Ah, wow. Well, I don't know if I can speak about endings because it's tricky to do that. That's okay, but yeah, I'm sorry, I speak in Italian, in both. Sono molto felice di questa domanda perché
I'm very glad about this question because this image for me is actually the founding image of the film. Within myself, right at the end, I put everything together because we have this story we're telling, and I began with this image, which was a bit obsessive actually for a while for me. Obsessed me, and then there was this silence when they wake up and they're looking at each other, and then they're looking at each other immobile, and there's this weight of this immobility, and I thought there could be something very interesting here to tell concerning love. So I think that this image is the image which is actually at the back of everything, it's behind everything.
Over there, please.
Hi, it's a question from Brazil, Rodrigo Fonseca from Correio da Manhã. Question to Piero. Your film made me think a lot about Tarkovsky, Solaris, but Solaris is a movie on a spaceship. In your film is on a metropolis, on a city. I would like to understand the role of the city in that ghost love story that we've watched. How much that metropolis surrounds and haunts them.
Ok, intanto Tarkovsky, grazie.
Yes, well, thank you for Tarkovsky. Thank you. Well,
è stato per me dall'inizio quando
right from the beginning, as soon as we finished writing the film, me and Giacomo Bendotti and also Valentina Gaddi and Sebastiano Meloni, who are not here because we didn't have enough room. When I started working as a director, not anymore as a screenwriter, my wish was to have a contrast with science fiction, where I wanted to use rather science fiction in its full depth. And so I started creating this world, and my collaborators was asking me, telling me, what type of science fiction, what type of a world are we going to create? And maybe I'm speaking a bit quickly, but actually it's all in simultaneous interpretation. Anyway, I always said, okay, I had these rational answers, but then I thought, okay, I can feel that my real intentions were something else. So I needed to establish a method and say, okay, I'm not quite sure exactly which kind of science fiction or world we're creating, but we want to talk about something which could or couldn't exist. So we have, for example, a window, the city, the light, which could be of this world. So it was a kind of a game. I was trying to have coherent elements and then strange elements coming suddenly, and then that created the world we all knew. And I think that we were trying to create a world which is maybe not completely precise as a science fiction story, but it was certainly a very concise in its feeling.
Hello. Yes. Okay. My question is to Gael. Hello. It's very interesting for me your perception of death, because you're Mexican, and the Mexican people has very strong connection with people who are not with us anymore in the cemetery. I mean, And also, I think that science changed everything around us. This technical, this everything, and do you think that after some years science can change something between life and death? This includes two questions in one, but me interesa mucho tu opinión.
Sí,
Muchas gracias.
Muchísimas gracias por la pregunta. Yes, well, it is. We just started this journey of putting words to what the film that Piero invited us to do, and seeing the result is fantastic, because it still keeps that open question, And maybe that's one of the things that I liked most about this movie to begin with, was that it really ponders on a very strong philosophical question, and challenges also an interesting contradiction. It places, in Western culture, like we normally think that the body is not the person. No, the body is a disposable vessel in a way. But what this film does is that it challenges that notion in a very sensorial and kind of instinctive way, in an elemental way. And I love that question, because it is not so linear, the answer. It is more complex, systematic, and definitely the body is also part of the person. The body is also the biological complexity is part of the life that is lost, and the memory as well, no? And now that we've been talking about the film, also there's been some questions that we've been kind of some answers that we've been kind of finding also. Whenever we think, okay, technology is going to give this opportunity to replace this. Technology already does that in these cameras, in cinema. Does that. There is this great Godard quote that film captures captures death when it's alive. No, so there is something there that already photographs do. They capture a memory. Do they capture the interpretation of the memory? Not so much. But they capture a memory, they capture a place, a point. So it's already there. The technology is there already, in a way. But this is a beautiful fable that Piero and all his collaborators came up with, and we are so happy to be here, interpreting this point of view, and also bringing at this point an open question, because nowadays we live in a time where we have to give answers, and it's better to keep this eternal question still open.
Please, in the back over there.
Hello, my name is Kathi Salier from German television. Thank you very much for that moving film. And I also have a question for Gael. And it's, do you have a different view of life, and maybe on your personal memories after shooting that film?
Yes, it's funny. Yes, normally I would lie, and say yes without really meaning it. But in this case, in this case, I really mean it because it really made me kind of wonder a lot about, it's a combination of life experience and also getting older, and wondering what it is, what happens, all this thought process has given me a lot of, information and kind of different feelings. But this, specifically what I just mentioned about how far away, in Western culture, we've so detached the body from the life of the person that I started to wonder, no, it's not so separate. It's not so separate, and that really changed me in many ways. I don't have an answer, but I think it's not as simple as an answer that I used to think maybe I had. Thank you.
Please, here.
Hello, and first time, thank you for so great movie and great job. And I have a question to Renate. How do you feel? How is feeling to be in 2 movies at the Berlinale? It's unbelievable for me. And thank you for so great job.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
I feel very proud and overwhelmed. And it's interesting that the movies are so different, and the themes that because like I said, this is the first time we put this into words, and thematically they're so different too, and I love this part of making movies where we get to meet whoever sees it and talk about what it's about for us and for you. So I'm very happy. Yeah.
Please.
Sí, para Gael, en español, Juan Manuel Navarro de Televisa, ¿cómo estás? Primeramente, felicidades. ¿Qué significa para ti regresar, obviamente, con esta película al Berlinale? Obviamente, como mexicano, un orgullo que estés aquí representando de alguna forma a Latinoamérica. Y tu experiencia, obviamente...
So, in this film, you also have Latin America somehow quite present. And what's your feeling about that?
Spanish just to get some flavor. Sí. De verdad, estoy muy feliz de estar acá, encantado de tener esta oportunidad.
I could answer in Spanish, that gives it more feeling, and I'm very glad that I was able to bring this film here, but that I was also able to shoot it with these actors, Renata and Olivia. They are fantastic actresses, and I am really very happy to have worked with them and also proud. I feel privileged. And this film has a lot of depth to it, and it is also very, very romantic. And so I am very proud and happy, because I don't think there are so many romantic films around. I mean, we're talking about our own grandparents in a way, but I am really glad and proud, and I'd like to thank Piero so much for being able to contribute to the film, and I wonder where this journey is going. And I'm also happy about the Berlinale. I mean, it's a fantastic festival. I think this is probably the 5th time I'm here. I wonder. I was also once a member of the jury.
Please, here.
So I think Berlinale is lovely because the public is great.
Great and powerful film. Lazar Christian from Directorial, Bulgaria. I have a question for a particular and the most, in my opinion, poignant scene of the movie for Berenice and Gael Garcia Bernal. And the sister of Sao, the character of Gael Garcia Bernal, says that the rules are not the problem. The problem is that you want me to suffer. And then Berenice's character says that's not the problem, and then you say, Gael, that you're not afraid anymore. In the film, there is this really emotional and poignant feeling of fear, and then also hope at the end. And with it was very emotional. The music, it pierces through one's heart, and I really think. I'm concluding my question with this. I really think, in my personal opinion, that Renate and Gael they both deserve the Best Actor award.
Okay.
It was an endorsement, not a question, I think. So we move to the next one.
Sí, buongiorno. Nora De Marchi per Cineforum.
Hello, Nora De Marchi for Cineforum. I have a question for Piero, and I'm here, okay, behind the camera, here. And I was wondering now, compared with The Wait, your film, what kind of a development have you had with the situation of mourning? What kind of a development? Well, I was wondering myself quite a lot about this question. I think that the difference is that in The Wait, these people are still waiting, they're passive, we have this magic thinking about it, whereas here there is action. The people act, even if not always very easily, sometimes they're desperate, but they are exploring all these different phases of this feeling of what we call love. But I was also wondering why whilst we were writing the film and whilst I was shooting the film, I was asking myself, you know, okay, how come is it new? Because we already have the separation. And I think that with this separation, you have the moment where you have this without, which is then even more present and has been defined better. So I can define what I have went through. And so this is a very fertile moment to talk about love. Thank you.
Here, please.
Hello. From Italy, but let me ask in English so everyone understands. Thank you for the film. I have a question for Piero. I thought the scene with the group therapy session with Olivia Williams' character talking about her daughter was really, really interesting. And I was wondering about what you think of the value of therapy, especially when it comes to processing grief.
For me? Wow. Ah, okay, wow. Non so, cioè parlare di terapia non mi sento.
I don't know. I don't think I'm able to talk about therapy because I don't have the instruments to do so. But to learn to let things go is something very important and very difficult. Just let them run. But it's fundamental if you want to grow. Now, about the scene you mentioned, the one with group therapy with Olivia. Whilst we were shooting the film, I saw Olivia doing her monologue, and then apart from all the emotions and everything, you know, there was the moment when Olivia said, I'm here, and what does that mean that I'm here? What does it mean? That was the moment when I realized what we were doing, you know, what the film was asking. So we were telling a question, but we were also asking maybe the public. But I only understood when I saw it, you know, seeing it. When I wrote the screenplay with the others, that was important, and that. But when I saw it, that was when I realized, okay, this is a central question. What does it mean, I'm here?
Olivia, since Piero was talking about this scene in particular, you want to comment or add something about this scene?
Yeah, it was the reason I took the movie. It was so beautifully written and asked the questions. What I want to address, though, is the breadth of love. We begin with an old couple who are in love, and it's a story about, in the end, really, that, you know, you might think the story is there was a man who, but in fact, there's a woman who had a brother. And it's about sibling love and mother and child love. And no matter how horrible your teenage child is to you, you would still bring them back if you could, which wasn't difficult for me to act. So yeah, I want to thank our screenwriter for that beautiful scene.
Please.
I'm Madeline from German Television, and I have a question for Gael. If there was a technology like this in real life, after this experience and acting in this movie, do you think there would be any comfort in this technology, and would you be willing to try it?
No, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. But again, I mean, like we've rehearsed this answer now because I've tried to think about it and quite a lot. But I wouldn't. But if I would not say it. I would not share it. So yeah, that's my answer. Yes.
There. Yeah.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Mahari Sigit, African Refugee News. Signor Messina, grazie di aver creato un nuovo
Thank you, Mr. Messina, to have created a new De Niro. It was a very fantastic actor here.
Can you tell me the challenges to make this film? Because it was not easy film. I felt sometimes out. And then one thing that the film made today at the Berlinale is that a lot of people, they stand up and go out as soon as it's cut. But you made something new. You started the film again, and the people had to come back. So, thank you.
Yeah, we're a bit confused here on the table.
What is the question?
The question was for the two lead actresses.
The question, one thing is that he created a new De Niro, and then whether the ladies could say something. Maybe they could say something about the film.
Yeah, okay, I will try to interpret the question. Let's say that I think for all of you as actors was interesting to be in the situation where you have to play with identities and shifting roles, and so what challenges and how interested you and how maybe you approach these characters that they all have two sides of what they know, what they portray, what they...
Yes, I play two characters, so trying to build them to be different, but still ground them, and so that they can be complex, real people. We had a lot of conversation and not so much time before, so it was hard. It was thematically for this movie. It's kind of it's a little bit of the same work, because you where in the body or where in the mind or where are they different? So it was all of it. It was inseparable. You had to find specific thoughts, patterns for both of them, and where they would, just how they would live in their own bodies, and to really, make them complex and real. But it was a lot of work.
Yeah. And Berenice, in your case, is slightly different because you were not portraying two characters, but you were guarding a secret that is the core of the film. How you were dealing with this character that is somehow preserving this mystery for audience?
So we are an international cast, so now I should speak French for my French fellows. Alors, I mean, I could speak Spanish too, but I'm going to do it in French. C'est un personnage assez compliqué.
She's quite a complicated person. I wasn't quite sure how to make the film, because I can't really talk about this person in the character without spoiling the film. It's very flattering to have a character who has a bit of a twist to it, but unfortunately I can't talk about it. I saw the film on my own in the hotel room last night, so that we can see what we're talking about, because, I can't talk about myself, but I'd like to talk about something. And for me, it was a film which I made in a kind of a total confusion. And I was asking myself every day, what am I playing? How am I playing it? How do I play the secret, which you don't know? You don't even know that there's a secret. You don't know whether anybody's going to talk about it in your papers. So it's a character who's very difficult, because there are too many things she can't say. But I can talk about the film and what I felt about the film, and working with Piero. There was some work on the music, the lighting, the setting, the silences, the length of the shots. That was very beautiful, very romantic, very melancholy. And this film asks so many questions. And you say, if you could get somebody back whom you've lost and who's gone, is the body important? And what about the memories? Reminding you of these people, is it the memories? Is it the body? Is it both? And can we separate these two things, the body and the spirit? And what I really liked with Renate and Gael's work, and I must say they were really great, both of them, that was the fashion in which Gael looks at Renate, and you don't know whether he's falling in love with a new body or whether he's saying goodbye to the person he's lost because she's dead. And so every unit of this film, at every level, every scene, Piero was incredible. Because when shooting, he was like a lion in a cage going forward, to and fro, and, you know, tearing his hair, and he was confused. He didn't know. It was hard. It was complicated. It was quite some suffering. And when I saw the film yesterday, I thought, oh, that is so well mastered. It's so beautiful, so simple. And everything he had in his head was so complicated, and then at the end there was something so beautiful. So I'm very, very proud to have taken part in this film with a character which is quite special. And so Piero, Renate, Gael, it was a very beautiful experience. Thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Piero, volevi aggiungere?
Piero, did you want to add something here, or was it just thank you? No, thank you. Very nice to hear. Lovely.
Grazie. No, solo grazie.
Okay.
No, just thank you.
Chiara Nicoletti, Fratfi Radio. A therapist once told me that you never get over the loss of someone. That is something, there's no such thing as processing loss or mourning, but you just learn with time to channel that energy into something else. So I wanted to ask Berenice and Olivia in particular if they think this is the case in the case of the characters, and what's a reflection they made with this film about grief.
I think, Olivia, you should answer, and I shouldn't answer because it's spoiling the movie. That's what I said. I think I cannot really talk. I should do mute movies, silent movies, maybe. That's what I should do.
No, well, my answer is that, with all due respect to our writer, I think it's a terrible idea to bring people back. It patently extends the pain unless you get to meet Renate and she falls in love with you in her own body. In every other respect, it seems like a terrible way to get over it. But I don't. I would have said. Freezing yourself cryogenically was a bad idea too, but there are still people who are prepared to do it. And I would have said walking around with a pair of goggles on when you walk down the street with your emails written on them was a bad idea, but people seem to want to do it. So that's what sci-fi is. You know, it leads us down these extraordinary thought paths, and the world seems to follow a few years later. So yeah, do your thinking now whether. But in terms being serious for a moment, that's the awful thing. If you have that choice, even if you know it's a stupid choice, just 5 more minutes with that person, and what I found so moving about the scene with the family is that it was all the hell of raising a teenage child, but the mother still wants to go back there because being alone in the apartment is too awful. So that's the beautiful complexity of the script.
Over there, back, please.
Hello, this is Barbara Di Stefano for Lingua Italiana Treccani. I have 2 questions for Piero. The first one is, it's obvious that you are working with an international cast and targeting an international audience. However, have you ever considered filming this movie in Italian? And if not, why? The second question is, you come from one of the poorest regions in Europe originally, and I would like to know if you have any recommendation for those young Italian, Southern Italian filmmakers who are trying to make a career in cinema. Thank you.
Okay. Piano. Okay. She's scared.
It's very quiet.
Okay, I try to do it. Okay. Slowly or
no? I think she means slow, not.
Yeah, she means slow.
Oh, okay, slow. Okay.
But
okay.
Don't be too slow because we have 1 minute left. So.
Ok, so. Vabbè, riguardo al cast, diciamo
About the cast.
È stato naturale, nel senso che inizialmente
it was a natural choice. I talked to Nicola Giuliano, and we had talked about this film, saying that since it's not located anywhere in a realistic place, we might as well go anywhere. But it was a question of production, really. I had this idea, I've always had it, what I said before. We'd like to show this sci-fi aspect of the film as much as possible, so I needed actors, apart from the fact that they had to be extraordinary. We also needed people who would be able to surprise you, apart from what has been written down, so something asymmetric, something which could naturally come up. So apart from my intentions, they were able to contribute something vivid to it. And so I had these actors who we have here, and that was, my desire. And during the first days, I saw them reading the screenplay, and I could see that beginning from the text, they were already creating. And I have this image of I open the window, and then you have the wind, and that was something, just happened. All I have to do is follow the actors, and I think that was a good thing to do in this film. Now, with young filmmakers, I don't know, I can't say very much about that, but I can only say just do as much as you can, because all the rest is just pure theory. So I learnt by, learning by doing, making mistakes and doing anything, advertisement, films, videos. And then I must say that I think that Nicola was right, that if you have a good screenplay, then everything is possible, especially if you have such talents around.
For the questions you had, but we ran out of time. Thank you very much for coming, and thanks for our guests for the press conference. Thank you.